slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're with my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
All right, y'all, we're here. We're live. You're watching Buster Unmasked, and I don't know what this show's going to turn out to be today. You're going to find out. This is the show. Anything can be said. Anything might even happen. Who knows? You know the routine. Like this video. Share this video. Go to Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube and subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell. That way you know when content's out. Look, guys, we're not going to waste any time. I'm going to promote these upcoming podcasts, and we're going to get these guys on here.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me. I don't give a fuck what you say.
Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
All right, guys, you seen it right there. Got a lot of cool podcasts coming up. Be sure to check them out. I'll be adding more for May. You seen MJ Davis is at the 1st of May. Ray Sanders is at the end of May, and I got several in between I'm going to be adding over the next few weeks of the show. Guys, we already got a comment, and I'm going to read this comment before I even introduce these guys. This is from Chance. He said, who is the best tag team in wrestling, and why is the Savage Brotherhood? That's easy because they just are. And I'll be honest with you guys, these guys are one of the most dominant, one of the most controversial tag teams anywhere around our area. These guys, they know how to get heat in the ring and out of the ring too. These guys are former Bluff City Tag Team Champions. They're former AWA Tag Team Champions. They are current Crossroads Wrestling Tag Team Champions. And I bring to you none other than Team Fuck Around and Find Out, the Savage Brotherhood. Brody, and Big Daddy Storm. What's up, guys?
What's up? I love that intro, Buster. You can do that anytime.
Man, I'll be working on that shit. It's like promos, riding down the road, practicing promos. I practice that shit in my head, man, and I hope it comes out right, y'all.
Hell,
Shit, I was asking him before the show started what the language was about, and then
I guess we found
I hear
out.
the intro. I'm like, well, damn, okay, I understand.
Hey, it's right there in y'all's logo. Fuck around and find out. And I thought, when I was building the background, I thought, well, you know, what is a tagline? What could I put on here? And I got to looking at that logo, and I'm like, hell, there it is. I ain't even got to think about it. That's it. Fuck around and find out. That's you guys in a nutshell, man.
That's it.
Yeah, it really is.
So y'all kind of know how this goes. It's kind of a free-for-all once we get started. But before we do, hold on. We got another comment. Jeff's Hill Corner, he says, hello to Buster and the best tag team in the world, the Savage Brotherhood. What's up, Jeff? Glad you're watching. Y'all know Jeff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we know Jeff.
Him and Mark McGee was just down here recently, right?
Yeah, I think they were at the AWA show in Blyville.
AWA show. And speaking of Mark, he's with us. He said, what's up, brothers? Ain't many fans got the balls to stand up and give Brody a bro hug and a handshake before the match. So talk to me about this bro hug right quick, Brody.
I was walking to the ring, and I saw him sitting there, and I walked up to him, and hell, he just stood up and gave me a hug and a handshake. I went home about my business.
Storm, Brody don't strike me as the hugging type, man. I mean,
look, when you got a fan like Mark, he drives all the way down from where? Pennsylvania?
New York.
New York.
Like Mark's from New York, Jeff's from Pennsylvania, but that's a long way to go. Man's gonna come that far and support you and buy all your merch. You hug that guy.
I agree with that 100%. Talk about fans. That's what we need. We need 1 million Mark McGee's and Jeff's. That's what we need. And Chance is back. He said nobody can beat the Brotherhood. This dude here, he has been promoting this podcast since I released the flyer 2 months ago for it.
Yep.
He has constantly been promoting it. He loves you guys. So look, let's go ahead.
He's
Brody.
like family, man. We've known him since he was a kid.
Okay.
We've known him for over 20-something years now.
So he's watched y'all. He's grown up watching you guys.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, let's just start right there, Brody. Let's start with you. Let's give everybody a little history lesson of when and how you got in the wrestling business, man.
Well, I got in. I started back in '94 with some friends of mine, Billy and Jay Suggs, brothers that lived down the street from me back in the day. And then I had to quit for about 4 years there, and I got started back up in '98, and I've been going strong ever since. And that's pretty much it. We was going to Nashville in the beginning. Was going to Nashville to train with Eddie Marlin, and then that's when I had to quit, and they finished. They were actually getting ready to go to WWE as enhancement talent, but Billy blew his knee out, and they weren't able to go.
So you've been in longer, because I know you popped up in '98, but I mean I didn't realize you'd been around since '94. I broke in '92. You trained at the USWA Academy in Nashville?
Yep.
Okay. And that was after Jeff left, because when they took Jeff brought him up to New York to start the Double J thing.
Yeah, no, he wasn't.
Eddie Marlin it went from Jeff and Tony Falk training us to, then Eddie Marlin was there training us some. And that's when I started wrestling as after Jeff had left and when Eddie Marlin come along. Didn't realize you had been in the business that long, Brody. Hell, you running right there. What does that make it? 94, 40?
Well,
is it?
I don't consider '94 when I started, because I really didn't do anything.
Okay.
I only trained for a couple of months, and I don't consider somebody that's trained a couple of months to be able to even call themselves to be in this business.
And
you
there you
got to
go.
you got to train for at least 9 months to a year to be what I consider trained.
Right. Right. There you go. Storm, let's go to you, man. When and how did you break into business? I know you've been in a pretty good while too, since the
Yeah, I
late
was
'90s.
dude, I was working second shift at a furniture factory, and a guy came up and said, you look like you're a guy who could wrestle." I don't know what he saw because I only had long hair. I only weighed 180 pounds. Like I was like nothing. So he introduced me to Don Bass. Me and another buddy of mine, Rafe, went up there to Don Bass's school, and oh my lord, it wasn't nearly as glamorous as what y'all making the other one sound like in that hot ass shed in Jericho, Arkansas,
Oh
in the middle of
God,
the summer.
dude. Hey, did
Yeah,
he still have the fucking ring that was really wasn't a ring, just some layers
oh,
of carpet on the concrete fucking
carpet on
floor in the shed?
concrete and have one
Yes.
strand of nylon rope around in four corners. That was
Right.
it. Yeah, that's where I learned to do outside ins, right there.
Man. I did a few sessions there too. When they first sent us down here, they sent us to Don Bass, me and my brother. And we met Don Bass in Jericho at the truck stop at the time. He took us over to his place. We get out, and we're expecting a decent sized shed or something with a ring, and dude, you walk in that silver ass shed, it's hot as hell. That ring, there's about 6 layers of carpet, and they're uneven.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that is the hardest fucking place to take bumps, man.
I
God
looked at
dog.
Rafe and I said, "Oh fuck,
Yes, man.
what are we
So,
doing?" So we
so
were up there for a few months, and then my wife at the time was getting unhappy with us having to drive so far, so we quit and found another trainer that was a little more local, so our wives wouldn't be as mad. Then there's always a choice: wrestling and your wife. So wrestling won, and I ended up getting divorced.
right.
So I found my true love. That's what happens sometimes.
Dude, man, wrestling definitely. You got to be careful with a family and trying to be married and be a wrestler at the same time, man. It's fucking hard. You got to have a woman that understands what the business is.
You really do, or you're done.
It's
And
destiny. You might as well chop it off from the get go, man. Because
that was what 96, I think it was. So yeah, a long time ago.
and you talk about the dude just walking up to you, but if I remember right, I don't know at this time, but when I first started seeing you, you wasn't big as you are now, muscle wise. You were tall, lanky, but you had long hair, and you looked a lot like Kevin Nash.
That's where the whole Big Daddy thing came from. Somebody, and I never called myself that. Other people were saying that because I looked like Kevin Nash, resemblance wise. That's where that came from.
Yeah, I've got a ton of old EPW and old XOW and maybe some other things from Mississippi with both of you guys on it.
Oh yeah.
That's why I was going
to your channel. You catch a lot of that good stuff.
Dude, I probably got probably 1,500 more VCR tapes that I never even got into to publish on YouTube, man. There really ain't I don't know what I've got, to be honest with you, because a lot of it I recorded, a lot of it people's given to me. My brother recorded some. And back in the day then, you was really lucky if somebody was there with an old school camcorder to actually record the shows.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then you tell them, hey man, let me get a tape or send me a tape. I'll pay you for it. And half the time you wouldn't get a tape. You'd have to catch that motherfucker at the next show and strangle him out, man. Like, where's this fucking tape, dude? So look, you two guys, how did you two guys meet and become the Savage Brotherhood? I know y'all met long before the Savage Brotherhood.
About 25 years ago.
Right.
Well, here's the thing. Your favorite person, Tiger.
Yeah. Yeah, how's that dude?
Yeah, he loves me, man.
Yeah, he was running some shows in Memphis. Well, really West Memphis at the time. RPW or
RPCW or something like that.
Yeah, right. And
I
anyway,
some of that.
Yeah. So he had a dojo in West Memphis, and then he ran an ad in the paper. I was already there, and Storm, Wraith, and Cody, they came over, and I showed up at the show at the Wonder City Boys Club, and Tiger says, "Man, I got this guy. He looks just like you. He looks just like you. I'm gonna put y'all together." And so then it was me. It was me and Cody as Pure Destruction, and then Storm and Wraith were doing their thing. But that's how we met. Was we actually met on that? I can tell you the date. It was March 17th, 2001, because that's the first time that Cody and I ever tagged.
So hold on. Now you just blowed my mind a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you just kayfabe me. You've been kayfabe me all this time. So you and Cody aren't actual brothers?
No,
I mean,
ain't.
for real.
That's hilarious.
Dude, we are.
Motherfucker, man. Look, I've been believing that shit since the fucking 90s. Here's the look. Me and my brother, Brody, you know my brother, Sam Dollar. We can't convince people we're real brothers, but we are. We can't convince people will not accept the fact that we're real brothers. They're like, no, y'all look too much different to be real brothers. But motherfuck you, man. You didn't have me thinking this since fucking, what, 26 fucking, 27 fucking years now, pretty much.
Pretty much. But yeah.
I'm not so sure Sam knows y'all aren't real brothers. Every time me and him have a conversation about you, Cody comes up and he talks about y'all being real brothers. So pretty good work right there, man.
Oh,
pretty
dude.
Good work.
We kayfade that for, I don't know, for years. It just started coming out that we weren't really, I mean, but we are. You know how it is. I mean, right. Storm and I aren't brothers, but we are brothers.
Right.
You know? I mean, it's just the way it works out.
Cody looks like a gianter version of you, though. Y'all do, especially then. Y'all really did resemble each other. It was highly easy to believe that y'all were brothers.
Yeah, that's the weirdness of it. And the thing about it is, we clicked right off the bat. You know, it was. I mean, we just clicked. I mean, it was a special deal. You know, for the 20 years that we worked in the, you know, around everything. It was great.
Right.
It's like me and Storm. I mean, we wrestled each other a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, through the years we wrestled each other, but we really never ever worked, you know, tagged all that much together. Just, you know, a few 6-man or you know 4-man stuff. You know, just, you know, stuff like that. But we really and then when we, you know, I called him up and said, hey, you know, I don't have a partner anymore, and Johnny's trying to put me with a midget, and I don't think that'll work too good. And so, and he's trying to put you with a midget. So why don't we put them 2 midgets together, and me and you start tagging together? And he said, let's do it. And we clicked right off the bat. It's
we've been October of 2022.
Yeah, it's like we've been wrestling together.
Whole lives, man. It's
forever, you know. It's like, you know.
Well, let's talk about that.
We've actually only been tagging for like 2.5 years, almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
But it's weird when you find somebody that you really click with. It's like magic happens in there, man. You can be part of tag teams. Me and Motley tag team is Cruising for Pain for a while, and we did good. We were good together, but there was just, I don't know. I always felt like there was something missing. I've tagged with other people, but when me and Ron McClarty found each other, started tagging, of course, we were opponents first. We worked against each other a lot first, but when we started tagging, it was like the yin to the yang. It was like I was always real stiff and rigid. He's laid back and loose, and it's like when we tagged up, something magical happened. He made me relax.
I'm laid back and easy, and he's stiff and hard.
Not true at all.
Yeah, I gotta go with Storm on this one, bro.
Bullshit.
Hey,
bullshit.
I'm the laid back chill guy, the nice one, the easy one.
Nah. Hey, who's always
piss Brody Hawk off?
Who's always in the back asleep, just got his hat down, his glasses on, asleep in his chair?
Yeah, but then we get to the ring and the dragon awakens, and Stiffy McStifferson comes out.
So, Mark's back with us. He said Cody and Brody look like real brothers, just as much like real brothers as the Andersons look like real brothers. Yeah, there you go. I agree with that one. Even Arn, I mean, you can't deny Arn kind of looked like Ole a little bit, and Gene too. So good work, but now you done let the cat out the bag, Brody. All them years of kayfabe, man.
Oh, dude, it's been out the bag. Hell, it's been out for a while. It just ain't reached out into the wrestling world really like it should.
So let me ask you guys this. It seems like since the fucking day you guys tagged up the very first time and debuted on Bluff City, y'all have had heat. Real heat. Heat with guys in the back. Now explain that to me. Give me y'all's perspective of why y'all feel like that you've always had heat.
Well, I can tell you my point of view of it. And then Brody, you tell me if I'm right or wrong and how you looked at it. But I know when I came in, Brody had already been there. He had a partner. Right. The tag team division, there were a lot of tag teams in there. And I think because Brody and his partner were the first Bluff City tag team champions, him and David were. And then I'm assuming that when David quit and they thought, okay, now everybody's like, here's our chance. And then here comes another guy. And this dude is every bit as rough and tumble as Brody is, and ready just to go and mouth off. Like, we carry ourselves a certain way. And this is where I think we complement each other, right? Because our personalities aren't really yin and yang. It's like yin and yang or yang and yang. Right. You're getting that. Like, we will tell you what we think, don't care.
Right.
We're going to act a certain way. We're going to carry ourselves a certain way, and that's it. And that intimidates a lot of people. And because we're so big, that's automatically going to put it up. And then when you see us work, it's like, who the hell is going to go toe-to-toe with these guys? Because we can work anybody. And I think day one, when they saw that, because when we had that first little match up there, the beatdown was one thing, but the match and everything subsequent to that, just everybody knew. Everybody knew what the pecking order was.
Right.
That was Brotherhood here. We better figure out how to topple these guys. And it became a thing.
Brody, what's your perspective on the deal, man?
He nailed it, but I've always had that bad reputation anyway, so it just carries on. The bad reputation is like he said, we don't have a problem telling you, what we think. Right. And so when you're in the back and you're fucking up, and I'm gonna tell you're fucking up, because for one thing, I'm trying to make money off of this.
Right.
So if you fucking it up for me and everybody else, then I'm gonna tell you. And guess what? That makes me an asshole.
Instead of people taking that like they should have.
Yeah, I can tell you in the most polite way, and I'm still gonna be an asshole.
Look, let me tell you a story, Buster. Let me tell you a story where, to me, he helped the kid's career, and I'm going to keep this kayfabe, and I'm not going to say who it is. We had a match, tag team match against this kid and somebody else. After the match, brought him to the back. Or no, somebody else had a match with him. Brought him to the back, said, look, Brody took him aside, said, look, you got to start doing this, this, and this. And we worked them that same show, just a bunch of TV tapings. And he took to heart everything that Brody said, and it totally changed how he works and how he understood things. He didn't take it personally. And if you can do that, you can learn. Now, most other people just call Brody an asshole and say, fuck you. You don't know what you're saying. I'm out.
Well, let's talk about that, because I do feel like, I mean, I'll be honest, when I broke in, motherfuckers didn't mince words with you. If you needed to be checked somehow for some reason or whatever, I mean, they checked your ass, and it was simple as that. But I don't remember guys being butthurt, I guess is the way to say it. I don't remember guys being in their feelings the way it seems like some guys are nowadays, man.
Everybody is. Everybody.
I got the answer for that. The answer is you, Storm, and I were trained to know to go in and sit down, shut up, listen, and pay attention. These guys, they're not trained that. They're not trained that way. So therefore, they have that prima donna fucking attitude that they're better than everybody when they don't know shit. They
Right.
don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, and they're trying to tell you and what to do. And you've been wrestling for 20 years, but then but because we're trying to teach you the right way. Do you think wrestling has made it this far? Because wrestling is the same. It never fucking changes. It's never changed from 19 whatever it was when it started till now. It's good versus evil.
Right.
Okay. It's good versus evil, and you sell a story. You tell a story. And if you ain't telling that story, then the fans can't get into it. Now, if you want to go out here, now I understand going over to Mexico and learning all that luchador bullshit, high flying stuff, and coming back over here and doing a little bit of it. But you still got to tell a fucking story.
Right.
You can't just go in there and do a bunch of fucking spots and think you're going to get over. Yeah, you're going to get over for the second, but the minute they leave 2 days from there, they're not going to fucking remember what you did, but they're going to remember if you told them a story.
And I see so many guys nowadays, guys just waste good spots. Like they'll have something spectacular they can do, but they won't even lead up to it and build the people up for it and set up for it, and then boom, get the maximum reaction. They just immediately go out there and do the spot, and they think just cause the people pop for a second that it got over. When I mean, we all know this. You can make wrestling fans pop on damn near anything. Getting them to pop ain't really the problem. It's getting them to invest in what the fuck you're doing is the issue. That's what you're really looking for.
And that's the number one thing right there. And that's what another point that right there is they go out and they just go through the motions. They're not getting the fans. They're just focused on what move they're going to do next. They're not investing with the crowd. They're not intertwining with the crowd. They're not going over there and saying something to the crowd. It's like the crowd ain't even there. It's like they took whatever they were doing in the back and took it out there and put it in the ring, and the crowd is not even there. There's just them two in there doing their shit, and that's it.
And here's the thing. You see it all the time. A lot of times they go out there and that shit ain't working, and they're like deers in headlights. They don't know how to pivot and bring the crowd back into it because they've done in their head, they've laid this shit out, and this is what's going to be, and they don't really give a shit what the crowd whether they care or not. Here's the thing, and I was talking to some guy, Tavon Jordan, the other day, young guy, talented guy. He's been in the business a couple years, got a huge upside, so much potential. But he said, I see guys go out there, and he said that the crowd's not into their shit, and guys will come to the back and say, "Oh, this fucking crowd's dead," and that ain't the case. Here's the thing. It's your job to get the crowd into what you're doing. These motherfuckers did not pay $10 a piece to come there and sit on their hand. It's not the crowd. If they're not getting with what you're doing, it's you. It definitely is not the fucking crowd. You got to know how to pivot. And I think that's one of the biggest problems in modern wrestling, period, is they lay this shit out and there ain't no what ifs. They don't think about, well, what if this don't work? What's our alternate? What's plan B? Yep. What's plan C, D, whatever? Well, see, that right there goes back to what he was saying a while ago about the reason why they don't like us and why they, is because you go out there with your little spot monkey bullshit and the crowd's not into your stuff and you come back and the crowd's dead. But then we turn around right after you go out there and we turn around and go out there and the crowd's all into every fucking thing we're doing. Right. And you know why? Because we talk to the crowd. We say things. We do things. We invest. I'll look at an old lady and say, he's getting this right here because of you and what you just said to me. And then I'll knock the shit out of him. Right.
Yeah, we bring them into our matches every time. We bring them in.
We bring them in. I've always done this at shows. I'll go to a curtain and I'll look out the curtain and I'll sit and watch the fans. And if I see somebody sitting on their ass, not being involved, By the time I get through with my match, they're going to be up on their feet, involved in the match. I've done that through my whole entire career. I've done it. I've gone out there. You know, I'll zero in on that one person that's sitting there, and by the time I'm done, they're enjoying themselves.
And
Yeah,
that's all it takes.
Yeah, people think you can't get real heat. Ask American Hostile if you can't get real heat.
Well, here's the thing, y'all. I feel like sometimes it's the promoters. It's not just the wrestlers. I feel like the promoters at some places don't really want their guys to go out there and get real heat. You know, it's like, here's the thing. I've seen it over and over. Guys go out, do something, get some good heat, and they may not have done nothing off color even. It's just one of these butthurt fans decided, I don't like this. I'm going to the promoter. And then the promoter wants to turn around and make the guys go out and apologize or something. Man, I seen Moondog do this over and over. When he first started running Osceola, there was so many times that one of us got out there and pissed somebody off to the point where they went to dog, we're never coming back. You know, if you don't do something about whatever. And it wasn't nothing off color, just a fan. You got into them. You got a hold to them real good. And dog would look at us. He'd smile. He'd say, I'll be back in a few minutes. He'd go out to the fans. Come back 5 minutes later, he'd smile at you again and say, don't worry about it. It's all cool. Ain't nobody going nowhere. Or if they did leave that night, he'd say, watch, they'll be back next week. And sure enough, they'd be right back. But if you discredit your wrestlers, I'm not going out and apologizing for shit I do out there. If I do it out there, that's just the way the fuck it was. I'm not going out there and apologizing for it.
I've had one promoter come up to me and ask me to go out there and apologize to a fan, and I told him, "You've lost your fucking mind. I'm not going out there and apologizing to nobody." And and I didn't. So, and it was fine, and that person was back the very next week. So, I just don't get that shit. I'm not going to apologize for anything I do or say. If I do something and they don't like it, to me, I done my job. I got them invested in it. I'm the bad guy. You're supposed to hate me anyways. You're supposed to want to come back next week and see that baby face beat my ass if he can. You know, right. That's wrestling 1-on-1.
Absolutely.
You know, that's the whole purpose of heat. You know,
here's my theory. Without heat, there is no pro wrestling. What is pro wrestling without heat? It's nothing. You got to have the heat. The heat's what draws everybody in. That's what makes people want to watch it. You can have all the greatest matches in the world, but until you get heat with these fans and heat on that baby face to invest in fans, it means nothing. They go home. They might have had a good time. They might have clapped. They might have popped, but they didn't remember shit when they leave. Nope. When they go home, I want them to remember me. If they don't remember shit else, I want them to remember me.
I guarantee you one thing.
100%.
Every single one of them fans at American Hostile 2 weeks ago remember that fucking brawl.
Hey,
they might not remember anything else from that fucking show, but they're gonna remember that brawl.
And we're going to talk about that before we do. Tim Davis says, tell Brody I'm sorry I tatered him in New Bern one night. Tim tatered you, man.
Man, hell yeah.
Tim tatered everybody, man. What do you mean?
Has he not? He's always tatered folks.
He said, here is some heat. Here is some heat up yours, Buster. Tim always gives me hell. He's actually the dude that brought me into New Bern when I first went there to EIW to start filming. We got Mark McGee back with us. He says, my cousins would have ate up today's soft-ass fans today. And I agree with that. Storm and Brody have the old school running through them, and the Vashons would be proud of the Savage Brotherhood. Let's talk about American Hostile and the Country Gentlemen. You guys, here's the thing. I think now that people are starting to see you work with guys like the Country Gentlemen, I think people are starting to gain a more open mind and respect for you guys, because they're used to say, look, around here, I'm a big guy, you guys are big guys. Most of the time, you're stuck working guys smaller than you, in general. And they don't usually get to see four big meatheads fucking just slap meat. And dude, Look, I called the first match, and I seen a sneak preview of the second one. I can't even call it a match. It was more of just a fight. We're not gonna let too much out before it gets aired. But dude, you four guys are having some of the best matchups that I think you guys have had in forever.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely. It's
yeah.
it's
I've
it's
always said,
wild.
yeah.
There's a
I always say
backstory
that
to
if
this whole thing,
yeah,
right? Because when we first worked them, when we worked them the first time in American High Style, and it started being previewed, that's who we were going to work and match up against. We got so many messages, calls, texts, like, man, are y'all ready for this? Are you sure? There's a lot of that from a lot of people who know us, right? Or thought they know us. Like we're supposed to be afraid of somebody.
Right.
Son, we ain't fucking afraid of nobody. So I don't get what the thing was. And it was funny because when me and Brody got there, I hadn't talked to him that day about it. And we got there, he had gotten the same kind of stuff. We're like, dude, we're ready for it. We're ready for anything.
Well, what blows me away is just that wrestlers even think that way. Now, look, we know it's a work, and we go out there and we work with each other to put on the best possible matches we can. But man, when I was brought in the business, there's always still that aura of you don't never know what's really going to happen when that fucking bell rings. So you got to be ready to fight if that's need be. And I feel like a lot of these guys, it astounds me that other wrestlers would send you guys messages like, are y'all ready for these guys? I'm like, motherfucker, I'm ready for anybody.
It's like, motherfucker, are they ready for us? Is my question.
There you go.
Well, that's what I asked him. I asked him, I said, am I supposed to be scared?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to be nervous about this? Because everybody keeps calling me and asking me if I'm nervous or if I'm, are you ready? I mean, I'm like, well, yeah, I'm ready. And no, I'm not nervous. But I mean, having butterflies before you go out the damn curtain is just a normal thing.
Right.
And if you don't have them, then you need to quit. You need to get the fuck out. Because like you said, you never know what's going to happen out there. They could have tatered us and pissed us off, and we could have ended up in a damn fight. And we could have tatered them and pissed them off. We could have ended up in a fight. But we're professionals. That's what people don't seem to understand about Savage Brotherhood. We will tell you everything we're going to do, and then we'll go do it. But we're professionals about it. We're at the end of the day, we're what it's on the marquee. We're professional wrestlers, and we know how to wrestle. I mean, Storm, was it not offensive to you that Johnny came back there and was like, I didn't know you guys could work like that?
Yeah. It's like, what the hell, dude?
What the fuck is Tim Davis talking about? Why are we censoring him? Motherfucker, your shit's been up. There's the last thing you put, and then here's this, motherfucker. There you go, Tim.
What'd he say?
He said, why are you censoring me, motherfucker? And I'm like, I ain't censoring your ass. If you ain't, I don't know if you're trying to come in and comment through Facebook, you can hang that shit up. Wherever you just got these fucking comments in, that's where your ass needs to stay, Tim, if you're going to interact with this fucking show, man.
Hey, look, I'm gonna peel back the curtain just a little bit. For what you were talking about earlier, Buster, we sat there. 2 matches we've had with them, 1 spot called in 2 matches. 1.
And that's something that I don't think guys really practice anymore, is just going out there and walking and talking through a match, man. I mean, here's the thing. Give me a fucking finish and we're good, man. We ain't even got to talk. And I've been in situations where everybody's short on time, and for some reason, they ain't gave you no finish, and you're going out. The other team's already out there, the other guy, and you're going through the curtain, and they look at you and tell you who's going over. And then it's your job to go in the ring and relay that, and then you don't even have a finish, Go out there and call it in the ring and figure it out. And I think that's part of the art of professional wrestling that is really, really missing. And if that dies out completely, wrestling's fucked, guys.
I agree.
I mean, it is.
We just had that happen to us a couple months ago. Matter of fact, at that cigar fest there in Memphis, when we were in the Hooters, you know, we stayed in the Hooters the whole damn time, and then we went out and, you know, opened the show with us just that going out there and straight out of Hooters. We just came straight out of Hooters and started raising hell with the fans. And then here comes legitimately Too Cool into the fucking ring, and we just had a match. We didn't talk to them about nothing. We didn't call shit. We didn't do nothing.
We went straight from our seat at Hooters out there to the ring and started kicking ass.
That's it.
And you should be able to do that, man. It's that to me is a fucking necessity of being a professional wrestler. It's simple as that. And that's where, like I said, that's where a lot of the art comes in, because I fully believe pro wrestling, when it's done properly, is a fucking art form. Man, when you can take fans, here's the thing. When I was young and I first started, it was just all about the action and the physical stuff. But man, once I kind of smartened up and realized how to start controlling the crowd, man, there's nothing more satisfying to me in the world than coming up with an idea and a plan and going out there and being able to take those fans on that ride and have them where you want them, when you want them. Whether if you want them up here, they're standing on their feet cheering. If you want them down here, they're sitting there like, oh, fuck, I can't believe that. And to me, that's the most satisfying fucking shit ever, is when you can go out there and you can take that audience on that ride with you, and it goes exactly like you planned it to go.
Oh, it really is. I mean, I learned that early because I was lucky enough to be taught with some guys who cared about that part of the business more than anything. Right. Bring the fans in, convince them of who you are, carry yourself like a professional wrestler, and people will recognize you in that way, and they'll react accordingly.
And here's the thing. You hit the nail on the head right there, Storm. Look, I get the feeling people think you go out there and you have this match and that's what gets people into you. Man, these people, you need to get them into you the minute you walk out that curtain. They need to be into who you are before they're ever going to be into whatever you do in the ring. And I think that's another place where guys are missing the mark. They're thinking it's what we go out here and do that's going to get us over. And I mean, sure, that's true to an extent, but it ain't just the moves. It's what you do. It's the setups. It's like Brody said from the start, it's telling the fucking story. I don't care about pro wrestling if there ain't a reason why.
Yep, same here.
You know? And so look, let's kind of backtrack to you guys showing up at American Hostile, because man, y'all showed up with a fucking bang, dude. The night y'all showed up, y'all left the Moonshiners laying, set Jason Vaughn on fire. We didn't see his ass for what, 2 months?
It was a hot minute. See what I did there?
So talk to me about that debut at American Hostile, man.
It's like the same thing everywhere else. People look at us because of how big we are, and we've been in it forever. So what's the narrative? We're too big, too old. They just wrestle down there, so only wrestling certain people. We only wrestle certain people because there's a lot of pussies out here afraid to work us. It's just what that is. Right? The reputation precedes us. They're fucking afraid. And they can sit there and say they're not afraid. They fucking are. We got the invitation to come up to Missouri, put in the paperwork, and said, fuck, let's go. So we walked in that door. We walked to that ring. We whooped their ass, set Jason on fire, drank their moonshine, literally.
yeah, literally, right?
Yeah.
And was stoned all the way home.
I knew it, man. I watched Brody's fucking head turn completely red. He hit that fucking moonshine, and you could see it. His fucking head just immediately from here up started getting redder and redder and redder, man.
Yeah, but I didn't stop. I drank every drop.
I stopped halfway through when I realized, oh shit, this ain't water.
Hey, y'all more fucking man than me, man. I'd have spit that shit all the way across the room, man. It'd have been all over the fans and everything.
I wasn't wasting that shit. I wasn't wasting that shit. That shit was good.
And ever since then, man, y'all had a feud with the Moonshiners, and then y'all kind of here's where we're headed. This is sort of a dream match around this area for a lot of people. You guys versus Steel Cross. This is a match that had been talked about probably for a year and a half at least before it ever happened. So tell me about y'all having your issues with the Moonshiners and then moving on to Steel Cross, because y'all were in the finals with Steel Cross for the tag team titles. It was a tournament, and Mark cost you guys the title. So technically you would be the champions right now if it wasn't for Mark.
Go ahead, Brody.
Talk to me about you four guys, you and Steel Cross finally hooking it up in the ring.
Go ahead.
Look, it's bullshit. It's the same thing. If you look at every match we've had, except for with this last one, with the Country Gentleman, something screwy has gone on with it. It's always something. Well, hell, even this last one. I mean, we hook up against Steel Cross. Mark has to get involved. Still mad because what we do, we beat up the Moonshiners. Every match that we're involved in up there, they do something. And here's what happened. We beat up the Moonshiners, and Mark thought he could just bring in somebody. He brought in Teddy, and we whooped their ass out in the river.
Oh, man, right. I forgot about that. Yeah, we definitely going to talk about that. Brody took a swim on that night. Him and Mark, man. Him and Mark both.
Fuck that river.
So it's just been that way every time, Buster. Every time we're out there, I'll ask Brody, I said, who's the good guy and who's the bad guy here? Because I feel like we're the heroes of this story. Because we're the ones constantly, they're having to bring in somebody. We wrestle JPJ and Mark. And what happens?
Right.
Jason Bond reappears that night to get involved in our match. Something has happened. The referees, it has been one thing after another. If I was the heel, I don't feel like I am.
We should be the damn NWA United States Tag Team Champions right now.
Yeah.
Well,
we had them beat. We had them beat. And then, I mean, how are you going to pin somebody's shoulders when they're laying up underneath the ropes?
There you go, man. And here's the thing about that. I feel like, man, we might be seeing Savage Brotherhood venture out and show up in some of these NWA territories. Is that a possibility for you guys?
We'll go anywhere. It's just who wants us, who wants to deal with it, because you're gonna have to deal with it.
We're open to travel anywhere. You know, hell, we got a phone call once about going to Canada.
Yep.
I don't even know what happened to that deal, but
couldn't get a passport. Those mother Canuckers wouldn't give us a passport. I couldn't get my passport. Yeah.
That's right.
I don't know if you want to go to Canada right now anyway. Man.
No, I'm good for the time being. I don't like molasses that much.
So
I'll tell you another reason why we get so much heat, or we get so much heat. It's because of one word. You want to know what that one word is, Buster?
Yes, sir.
The best.
The best.
Every time we tell you we are the best, it fucking pisses them off. Do you remember back when we first started tagging and we were telling everybody we were the best, how fucking mad they were getting over it?
Well, you know, I was going to ask you guys about that, because here's the thing. Johnny, when he started Bluff City kind of started out with heat already itself. From even before it debuted, it kind of had heat. And do y'all feel like maybe some of that heat, that residual heat, spilled over on you guys because y'all have been Bluff City since the day it opened?
Well, we certainly don't do anything to not instigate it when we can.
Right.
I mean, so it's like, because here's my thing. If you're going to bring heat for no reason other than you're jealous, that's just on you.
Right.
That's your fault. If you're going to be jealous of us just because of how big we are and how we carry ourselves, that's on you. All right, that's your fault. If you're going to be mad and say we can't wrestle because we can't do a 450 and that's all you think wrestling is, well, that's fucking your fault. And that's why you suck and we are the best, because we can work anybody.
Exactly. Exactly. And the thing about it is that I told Johnny, I said, hell, I don't have a problem with the heat. Put it on me. Put it on me. I don't give a fuck. I can carry that shit. These big ass shoulders, I can carry all the fucking heat you want to give me. Because I like to say, like, It says right there, fuck around and find out. But I also have another saying. I give 0 fucks about what you fucking think of me.
There you go. And here's the thing. It blows me away that wrestlers get really pissed at other wrestlers for talking shit when that's what fucking wrestlers do. That's part of it. That's half your fucking job, man, right there.
Have you ever listened to a fucking Dusty Rhodes and fucking Ric Flair fucking interview? They talk about how fucking best they are, how good they are, and how they're the best at every fucking thing they do.
Look, if Facebook was around and Instagram and X was around back then, do you think they wouldn't be using the shit out of it?
I think they'd be using it way better than we do. I'll be honest with you, because I mean, here's the thing: Facebook is a wonderful tool to promote pro wrestling, to build angles, to build intrigue in the fans. But you also, at the same time, can't put all your fucking personal problems on there too. Exactly. You can't in one post, I'm the greatest ever, and the next post, my old lady left me, and I need to hit my cash out for money,
please.
Right. You can't do that shit, man, because it just what do you call it? It not deteriorate, but it basically
legitimizes what you do and who you are.
Yes, it undermines everything that you've tried to build and you may have built to do that, man. You get your wrestling character here, and then you go on and say something personal that lets everybody know that you're just like them. And let's be honest, wrestling fans want wrestlers to be superheroes. They want them to be bigger than life. They don't want you to be just like them, honestly. They want you to be better than them. That's why they pay money to come see you. And it just blows me away that wrestlers would get hot over other wrestlers.
They want to be the fans' friends for some fucking reason. They want to be their friends. Even the heels want to be their fucking friends. Well, I ain't your fucking friend.
That's the fucking NWO's fault, man. As big as it was, they made cool heels cool, and then wrestling ain't never been the same since. And now everybody wants to be a cool heel. Well, if you're a fucking cool heel, you're really a babyface. I mean, if the fans are cheering you and shit, and you're a heel, then you're really a fucking babyface.
When I grew up, I loved the Von Erichs. I loved all the good guys. I'm like, oh, this is it. But it didn't take me long to learn. You can't have a hero without a villain.
Right.
And I love being the motherfucking villain.
High five to that, baby.
Hey, it's a hell of a lot more fun, man. I'll be honest with you guys. I like being babyface, but I have more fun at being a heel because I get to let all that natural attitude. You get to kind of let that part of your personality shine, you know, that you don't really show all the time or can't really show. Yeah, for me, heel's way more fucking fun, man. And so, go ahead, Brody.
I don't like being a babyface.
I liked it because you didn't have to do nothing, man. I like that old school babyface. I don't even want fucking music, man. I want to come out the curtain, walk out, people see you and just react however. Get in the ring when they announce you, throw one hand in the air. Babyface for me was so simple, man. Where heel, I like I said, I had way more fun as heel, way more creative as a heel. But it was always easy to be a babyface. Fuck, all you got to do is have a good heel that you can sell for.
That's it. Dude, but let me tell you something. When I came to MIW, when somebody was calling the shots, motherfucking babyface he was.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm like, what are we? I'm like, dude, what? And I'm like, so what am I supposed to do here? Because we're the Savage Brotherhood. He's like, you still got to be you. I'm like, okay. So,
just be you, baby. Just be you.
So he's out there, fans are happy, and I'm out there making them cry. I'm like, what?
He fucking did, dude. He made this one lady cry so fucking bad. She got up and fucking left. I mean, she was bawling and squalling. I'm like,
damn, Storm, you done hurt an old lady's feelings that bad, man.
I mean, he did, dude. That lady got up. She was bawling, got up and left. I was like, yep, that's my bro right there. He's doing his job.
But that's good heat, though. That lady did. I bet you money she was back
next week.
Oh, she was back
next week.
Right.
And was apologizing to him.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Think about back in the day when guys would get heat to the point where motherfuckers were trying to stab them and shoot them and fucking throw rocks at them and shit, man. That's what it's about, though, man. Without heat, there is no wrestling.
Yep.
Dude, I've had
You
my
tell those stories, people just are wide out. These kids today that are in the business, you tell them like when I almost got stabbed in cold water, they're like, "What?" They think you're lying at first.
Hey, I've been in a few riots where we had to fight our way to the dressing room. Hey, when I say we, I mean really, you're out there. A lot of times, if the hills start the riot, the baby faces will come out there and get on the hills, and a lot of times the fans will disperse then. But I've been in a couple where no, these motherfucking fans, the baby face attacked your ass and the fans were still attacking you too. So then it turns out you and the baby faces are out there working together, fighting your way through the fans to get back in the fucking dressing room. And it's so much fun when you get back there.
Oh, it is.
So much fun.
I've had my car keyed. My car's been keyed. My tires have been cut. I mean, it gets bad sometimes, but that's the kind of heat that you want to get, really. I mean,
yeah, it is, man. I'm all about heat. I'm all about heat. Look, guys, y'all got some big shows coming up, man. This Friday night, UWA is going to be in Corinth, Mississippi, at the Fitness Factory.
Yep.
Talk to me about that show, guys. Hell, that's what, 2 days? That's 2 days from now.
2 days from now, yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's YMCA building up there in Corinth.
You know something else, Buster? You want to know something else? We never fucking know who we're working until we fucking get there.
Yeah, nobody tells us.
Dude, we don't know we don't know who we're fucking working until we get there to the fucking shows, and that's been a lot of these shows
in any company.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: that's part of being a true professional too. You should be able to work with anybody. You shouldn't need to know a week in fucking advance who you're working with.
Point. That's my point right there. Back in the day, you could get on the phone and call somebody, but they wasn't going to tell you who you was working or whatever. Show your ass up and work, motherfucker. That was the name of the game.
And it ought to be that way, man.
Butthurt. They didn't get butthurt back in the day when their fucking name wasn't on a poster.
Well, they do now, though.
I'll be honest with you. I see so many posters where you don't have to stick every fucking guy on your card, on your poster.
Dude, if you don't, they get fucking butthurt. And they'll be calling you, why ain't I on the poster? Why ain't I on the poster? Gosh damn, dude, it doesn't matter that you're not on the poster. Did I book you or not? Show your mother.
You want to be on the damn show.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I think posters should only really feature your feature match guys, your main event, maybe your semi, whatever guys you got good angles going with. That's really the guys who should be on your poster. And here's the thing. Guys don't understand. That's how you gauge where you are in a company too. You may not be on this poster. You may not be on it for a month or so, but finally you're on that poster. That means you're in something that these guys have plans for you. You're doing something important. And they should look at it like as an opportunity to do better and work their way up on the poster. Yep. You know?
But you're talking about this UWA event, Buster, and it's going to be big Friday. But we are adding so much to the UWA right now that I can't say that I really want to say. We're adding some new members to the UWA.
Needs to.
Got some things happening finally with the UWA. I really want to say, but I can't. I can't yet. But all I can
say it, Storm.
I dare
you to say it, Storm. God damn it, say it, man.
Dude, I want to so bad. I really want to so bad, but I'm not going to.
And here's the thing about that is when Bluff City started, we weren't supposed to last long. We were supposed to be the little step kid over here, but we've done exactly what we said we would do. We have built something that is growing, steadily growing, every minute of the day. It's growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And, you know, Johnny has his faults, but, you know, sometimes I get mad at him. I'm be like, just shut the fuck up. Just shut up and let our work talk for the shit, you know. But, you know, he's out there pushing it. So,
One year. That was the thing. Bluff City wasn't supposed to make it 1 year. In 1 year's time, it was supposed to have been out of business. What are we going on? Working on the third year now?
Third year in
Okay.
what, June?
And here's the thing. Never was supposed to last past a year. It did. You guys kept it going. And it took it a while. Here's the thing. I think we can all admit the fact that probably the first year of it was rough as fuck. It was hard. It was hard. But then the second year started changing. A little momentum started happening. And me and Johnny had this conversation the other day. If those series of shows that was supposed to have happened at Lafayette's would have happened, there would have been the landscape of wrestling around Memphis would look a little different than it does right now.
It would. Most definitely would. And that's the thing about it is that other company, and I'm not going to mention their names, that other company knows that. And that's why the underhanded bullshit was done to keep us from being there. Because that one show that we did there, they loved it. They loved it more than they loved us being there more than they did the other company. And so, I mean, if we were still there, shit.
But here's the thing. Even with that being taken away, you couldn't kill Bluff City. Even with the underhanded tactics and all the lies and all the talking about the talent and everybody else they try to take digs at in their company and saying, hey, you can't go work for certain companies because you work for us. We don't sell anybody that. Nobody, any of our companies is told that. Only one company in Memphis does that. Just one.
And see, and that was the knock on Johnny at the beginning when Bluff City first started, was everybody was going around saying that Johnny was saying that when Johnny wasn't. Johnny just told you to watch where you know, if you would, because I'm trying to put you on television, don't work in Memphis. If you want to go to Blytheville and work, or Dyersburg and work, or Boonville, or, you know, Coldwater, just don't work right in Memphis, because if that other promotion is charging $5 for you to come in, for them to come in and see you, then how am I going to be able to charge $25 and be able to pay you something good if you're going over here, you know, when they can go over here and pay $5 to see you?
Yeah, and don't go lose to a green guy who's been in the business 37 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell?
So, I mean, that was the whole purpose. I mean, that was the whole thing that he was getting a knock about, and everybody was saying that he was telling everybody they couldn't work here and they couldn't work there. That was not the truth. That was the furthest thing from the truth.
And here's the thing. And Brody, you've been a booker, shot caller, Storm. I'm assuming you do some booking with Crossroads.
Yep.
We know as a promoter, obviously, we want our talent to be as exclusive to us as we can get them. But that goes back to when you were working for companies where you made a living wrestling.
That's right.
That's the thing. That's why I think it's so. I think the void that the USWA left is still being felt around our area, because here's the thing. It kept that pecking order. Everybody knew what the pecking order was. And I feel like we need that company. We need a new company, whether it's Bluff City, Memphis Wrestling, EPW, 901, whatever. We need one company to rise above everybody else and start opening the territory up, putting guys to work 3, 4, 5 times a week if possible, because pro wrestlers can't make no money wrestling once or twice a week. You just can't. And, you know, let's talk about that, Brody, both of you guys, because I know you guys grew up on the territory days and stuff. What do you think about these companies only really doing television? EPW probably runs the most house shows around our area of companies that's on TV. We all know, I think EPW is truthfully maybe the only one that's actually on some real TV. Everybody else is on YouTube. but that's what we consider TV now. But talk to me about that. Do y'all feel like that there needs to be at least one company that's head and shoulders above every other company around here?
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. I
I
think there
do.
needs to be.
I think that Bluff City's headed that way. I mean, look what we're doing. We're with the UWA. We are creating something that everybody's been wanting to do for years, and we are creating a territory. I mean, look at it. You got Crossroads in Mississippi.
Right.
You've got American Hostile in Missouri. You've got AWA in Blytheville, and then you got Bluff City in Tennessee. I mean, you got the territory right there.
Right.
And
And
now,
you got APW over there in Arkansas as well in a different part who their guys
right.
come in and help out from time to time. And Ricky comes out and helps Johnny out from time to time. I mean,
So, I mean,
there's a network of people who can make this thing go.
we're building something. We're building a territory. And if you look at it the right way, it was what we all wanted for the longest time was a territory to work in, because it died. The territory stuff died, but now it's slowly. I think even I don't like to bring up WWE or any of that stuff, because I don't think they're any better than us. Yeah, they got their shot, and they were able to go up there and do that, and they're getting paid more than we are. But I don't think, as far as wrestling wise, they're any better than us. So I don't. The independent wrestling is where it's at, really, because that's where that's where you learn your craft. You learn your craft in the independent circuit. So Triple H is kind of trying to bring that back a little bit. If you kind of pay attention, to what he's doing, he's kind of bringing it back a little bit. I mean, hell, he's working with TNA. He's working with a bunch of different companies.
Well, with this WWE ID deal, these ID prospects, he's digging on deeper in the independent scene, man. I mean, to be honest, I don't know if Tony Khan sees it, but they're boxing AEW out. They're building a perimeter around them where they're going to be right here in this little spot. And here's the thing: if you're a young guy if you're a young guy and all you care about is making some good money, then AEW might be the space for you. Limited schedule, a lot of money. But if you're a young guy and your goal is to be the very best and be a legitimate star in this business, then you'd be stupid not to take WWE if they are. If I was 21 years old, I'd take less money from the WWE than I would Tony Khan could offer me twice as much money as the WWE did, and I would take their money because there's so much more opportunity for an upside there.
That's true. That's a true statement. But with everything and anything, there's always that backstage bullshit that goes on.
Right.
That sometimes the money and the shit, it just ain't worth it. Sometimes it just ain't worth it.
Well, let's talk about that backstage fucking bullshit, because I mean, it still plagues our wrestling around this area to this day. It's always been that way, but with social media, it seems like it's fucking 100 times worse. For some reason,
it's exposed. It's the fans are able to get into the bullshit. I mean, we're not welcome back to a certain company because we were getting over with their fans, and because we were getting over with their fans, and they were getting overlooked, they didn't like it, so therefore we are not welcome back.
Yeah, then we're hard to deal with, and it became our fault and all this other nonsense.
Yeah, and you can say what you want to about us, but our motto is that if it makes fucking sense, we'll fucking do it.
Yeah.
But if it don't make sense, then we're going to tell you it don't make sense. And that does not make us hard to work with. that just makes us fucking smarter than you. Because
We're trying to help you build your company and help your company make money.
you're not gonna do it.
And here's the thing: I don't have to like you to work with you. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't have to. Me and you don't got to be drinking buddies. We ain't even got to be fucking friends. Truthfully, I've worked with a lot of guys that I couldn't stand them, and they probably can't stand me. But in the ring, had some killer matches. You know, I don't understand that aspect. That nepotism has always been a thing in wrestling.
Well, it's that thing where they want your spot. You know, they want to be where you're at, but you know, you got to earn that fucking spot. I mean, we've earned our spot. You want it, come take it. Be better than us. Train harder.
This is the crux of why people don't like us, though. If you really want to get down to it, it's because we've been around so long. They feel that we should step aside and let them have a turn, let them have a spot, let them be on top. Like, that is not the fuck how this works.
I mean, exactly.
You want to be on top, you fucking take the top spot.
But we're not going to
step aside and fucking give it to you.
But we've done that. We cooled down for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We cooled down and we
let people do some stuff.
We stepped aside and we let them try to carry it, but they couldn't. So who has to step back up and carry it? Us. So shut the fuck up. You know? Shut the fuck up.
So
until you get good enough to fucking carry the whole fucking thing, don't say nothing to me. Because undoubtedly, you know, I don't know how to wrestle and I don't know how to do this and I'm this and I'm that. But by God, I'm carrying a fucking tag team division with that guy right there.
And who keeps getting booked in other companies besides our own, right?
Exactly.
How many guys are on top only in their own company and nowhere else?
You know, here's the thing. Look, this goes right along with you guys. Johnny catches so much fucking heat for doing his lives, being the King Superstar, even just being himself, because once you get to know Johnny, a lot of times, even when he's the King Superstar, you're really just getting Johnny. You're getting a lot of Johnny, his personal feelings. He don't bite his tongue. And it just astounds me that going back to what we said before, that so many of the boys have a problem with a dude promoting it, with a wrestler promoting himself. Here's my theory. That's what we do. If you're worried, if Johnny doing lives and getting a lot of attention on Johnny Dotson in Bluff City bugs you, that twinges over into, I believe, jealousy. God damn it, if you want, hey, here's the thing. If you want that kind of attention, then do something to get it. It ain't Johnny's job to governor himself, like it ain't your guy's job to governor yourself so these other people can look equal to. Motherfucker, either put up or shut up. We're going to do what we do, and if you want that spot, like Brody says, come and get that motherfucker. It's here for the taking if you can take it.
Yep, and they can't. So just continue bitching, little fuckers.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. I mean, we want you. We want you to push us, because you know you can't get better if you're not getting better every time you step in that ring. Then there's something wrong with you. If you ain't learning something every time you step in that ring, there's something wrong with you. If you think you know everything there is to know about wrestling, you need to get the fuck out, because you don't know shit. You only know what you know right now. You're still learning. If you ain't still learning, then quit. Because I learn something new every time I go to a wrestling show. And I push myself even harder to stay on top. And that's the thing they don't understand, is you got to work. You got to put in the work to be, better than most. I don't get it.
It's wild, dude. When I first got to Bluff, I was told I need to stay out of the gym. I'm in the gym too much.
Why? Because it made other guys look bad? Yeah. Guys you were in the ring with, they wasn't comfortable because you look better than them?
Yeah.
That don't make no fucking sense.
No. Who you well, because you got a dad bod? Fuck you.
I got a dad bod, but I can still fucking wrestle.
Yeah, but you're sexy Brody Hawk.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Damn, we're gonna add that to his name, Sexy Brody Hawk.
He got that
Hey,
$1 million
dude,
damn
I used to
smile.
call
That's all the
myself
ladies used to call him
Bootylicious
that.
Brody. When I was tagging with Sarge, I was
That's-
Bootylicious. I was Bootylicious Brody.
I am
Man,
not calling you ass bootylicious. That is not
I
happening.
was just fixing to say that sounds like some Sarge O'Reilly shit right there, man, for sure.
100%.
When me and Sarge was tagging together there for a little bit, I was Bootylicious.
I've actually got some matches of you and Sarge from old EPW where y'all were opponents, if I remember right, man. There's one where you leave Sarge in a puddle of blood, man. I got there's some good camera shots up close of Sarge. Blood fucking everywhere, man.
Well, back in the day, I'm actually the original owner of the XOW.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Here we go.
My company name was stolen from me because in Mississippi, you can't be a wrestler and be a promoter. Back in the day, back then, you couldn't be a wrestler and be a promoter. You could only be one or the other. So instead of, it's like anywhere else when you have a company, you're a wrestler, you have to wrestle to help your company. So I took and put somebody else's name on the promoter's license. And so they seem to have thought that they could just take my name and the damn what was Sammy Hall? What was he? The commissioner.
He was commissioner, yeah.
Helped him be able to do that because on paper he was the owner of the company, but that was only on that paper but as far as everything else, I owned everything else. I owned everything that had to do with XOW. I paid for it being put on television. I paid for everything. The other guy didn't pay shit. Matter of fact, he was. Never mind. I'm not talking bad of the.
Don't talk ill of the dead.
I'm not gonna talk.
That's the fucked up kind of shit you deal with, though, especially in the wrestling business, man. It's hard. Here's the thing: it's hard to trust people in this business. You got to really be around people for a while and really get to know them as a person to be able to trust them, man. It's like wrestlers, man. You wouldn't believe the wrestlers that hit you up wanting to borrow money. And I tell them immediately, I don't fucking loan wrestlers money. If I was going to give you fucking money, I'm just going to give it to you because it's a wrestler. Unless it's somebody you know and can trust, you ain't getting that shit back, first of all. And I tell people all the time, I do not loan wrestlers fucking money, man. It is a backstabbing industry. I mean, it just, there really ain't no other way you can say it. It's a cutthroat fucking industry.
And what drives me crazy is when you hear somebody complimenting these assholes that ain't worth the shit as a human being. And you're listening to other guys talk about how great they are and how, especially after they die, right? Oh, so-and-so was a great human being. I'm like, horse shit, he was a motherfucker.
If you're an asshole when you was alive, you're the same fucking asshole after you die.
You're dead now, but you're still a dead asshole.
I agree with that 100%. 100 fucking percent, man.
But and here's another thing: is they're fucking cancer to wrestling, but yet people are still fucking using them, and I don't understand that shit.
I'm glad you said that. Let's talk about these fucking pedophiles.
Name names. Let's go.
Honestly, let's lay it out there. Here's the thing. I seen some shit on Facebook a week or so ago, and it was, everybody keeps saying, well, it hurts the wrestling business when you expose these guys. These motherfuckers need to be exposed. If you want to really help the wrestling business, expose them to the point that they can't get booked nowhere. Nobody will book them, because if they do, then they'll be ousted. I don't give a fuck who you are.
If you know they're pedophiles, why are you booking them? Why would you want them around kids? Why would you want them?
It? And here's the thing: That's the quickest way. It might look, wrestling's got a fucking black eye on it anyway. It always fucking has. Probably always will. But if you want to really make it look better, sure, exposing these guys in the short term might turn a few people off to wrestling. But 2 years from now, when there ain't none of that shit going on anymore and these guys aren't working anywhere, that's better for wrestling. Therefore, it might have took a little while. It's kind of like Trump and his shit. These tariffs, it might take it a while to kick in, but when it does start kicking in and the money starts rolling in, you're going to see it switch. It's going to be better for the country. The same thing for fucking pro wrestling. These guys need to be exposed and need to be ousted. They need to be blackballed out of the business.
But
that's what's best for wrestling.
For them, though.
If you know who they are, then do it.
You should feel bad for them and their family. They didn't feel bad for them fucking kids they fucked up.
I'll be honest with you. The night that
TikTok Tommy, the stupid
piece of fucking shit. All right. I've heard so many people say Tommy Too Good in place of TikTok Tommy, and I didn't want to do that.
No, that's Tommy. I'm sorry, buddy. Not you. You're good one. But not that TikTok Tommy, little dude. Dude, I was to have his nuts cut off in prison and fed that some bitch.
I was in Osceola last night he was there and the cop showed to pick him up. I was out front of the building. I was there going to film. And all of a sudden the sheriff start pulling up and they pull around the side of the building, towards the back. And there's first there's one and then there's two and then there's a couple in the parking lot. And I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't go in the dressing room or even get in the middle of it. And then all of a sudden, after a little bit, I see them bringing Tommy out and taking him off. And here's the thing. He's already got these charges on him, these things, whatever it is, sex offender shit. But how many people have you heard of this kid ripping off?
Oh my God!
Writing bad checks and all that other bullshit.
How many fucking times? I could have never got arrested as many times as this fucker has without being under the fucking penitentiary just for the ripping people off and shit. I don't understand that either, man. I just don't get it.
But you're not telling them that. Here's another thing: the powers to be there knew he was a pedophile, and still looking.
Well, it ain't like it's been a secret, man. I mean, it's been known I guess since it happened. I was out of the business for about 9 years, so I didn't know a lot about it, a lot about some of this shit. But since I've been back, apparently it's been apparently everybody's fucking known. It ain't just been one person or a group of people. Apparently every fucking body's known.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who know.
When I found out about it, I told Johnny, and if I find something out, I'm gonna tell it. I'm gonna go to Johnny and say, hey, this is what's going on, and this you need to distance them from Love City, or I'll go to Crossroads and I'll tell them, if I know something, I'll tell them, we need to distance ourselves from these people because they're not good for business.
But here's what's scary. How many more of these fucking perverts are out there that we don't know about that we lock up with?
That's the problem right there. That's the fucking issue right
because
there.
It has happened.
And that's another thing with Facebook and shit, with all the social media shit, it gives them access to talk to these wrestling fans, these girls out there, these girls, they're 14 years old and they're developed, but they ain't mentally developed.
Right, so they're right there. That's it right there. I don't think these fucking dudes are mentally developed, to be honest with you. What grown man is looking for a 14-year-old girl?
Dude, if your occupation is professional wrestler and you only work on the indies, yeah, something's fucking wrong with you.
And here's the thing, it ain't just him. Up here where I live, the guy who used to run Swag, he's still in jail right now. He's been in jail since fucking September or sometime last year. He got picked up for some kind of child abuse shit, sexual abuse, and he's still sitting in the county jail right now. Nobody's got him out. He made bond or anything, and it's just.
And there's others. There's plenty others.
Oh, there's a lot of others.
Plenty
Yeah,
that you haven't even heard of. That we know of.
and that's sad. That's a sad thing.
Yeah, it is, man. That's bad for the wrestling business. I mean, honestly, when these this happens to these kids, and then their parents find out that have been lifelong wrestling fans, probably brought their kid to that show since they were born, and then this happens. That right there is what gives fucking wrestling a bad name.
And what's it say to that child who you were their hero?
It's
and
crazy,
they're innocent,
dude.
right? And they grow up and they see that. That's my hero right there. I can't wait to be like you. And then bam. These
here's
motherfuckers
the thing.
do that.
We just got through talking about how gratifying it is to go out and be able to manipulate your audience. To have a plan, go out, put it into effect, and have them people where you want them, when you want them. It's the same principle. Goddamn, if you can manipulate these grown people, you can definitely manipulate these 11, 12, 13-year-olds, 14-year-old kids. I mean, like you said, they already look at you, even if you're a heel, they already look at you like you're somebody. So if you're even talking with them, they feel like they're talking to somebody. So they're more susceptible to go along with any fucking thing, you know?
And I don't want to hear that bullshit that it's a sickness. Because it ain't a fucking sickness. It's a fucking choice that you're making to go after these kids. You know, it's not a sickness. You don't have to fucking, I mean, there's plenty of fucking grown, go out here and get on fucking farmers.com if you want to find you somebody. But leave these fucking kids alone.
There's plenty of out there for you. Go get it.
Look, guys, I'm gonna lay it out like this. I like hair on my pussy, man. I'm old school. I want some hair on my pussy. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You married. You're married, so there should be hair on the pussy.
Well, I'm just saying though, how are you fucking grown and want to mess with little girls or even little boys? Because we're focusing on the girls, but it ain't just that. There's motherfuckers out here fucking with these little young boys too.
Well, they do, and it's truly disturbing. And I get there are a lot of mental health issues. Like I'm addicted to this right here. I can put this down though if I really want to.
Right.
I can. I don't have to have it. I choose to have it.
That ain't no damn comparison. That ain't no damn comparison to no damn pedophile.
So, but what I'm saying is,
but you said it. It's a choice. It's a fucking choice, and I agree with that. I mean,
don't tell me you don't have a choice.
It's
definitely you got a choice. That's what I was saying. It's not a sickness. No. I know that's not, to me, that's not a mental health issue. That is just you being a fucking dumbass that likes little kids. You know, you can, I don't know. It's so fucking frustrating that
what pisses me off is when they try to normalize that shit.
Dude, and here's the thing, chop some shit off. Like in other countries where motherfuckers steal and they chop their fucking hand off. It don't take but once or twice. You get your fucking hand chopped off for something, you ain't gonna do that shit no more. And if you do, you need to just go and be killed anyway, pretty much, because if you don't learn after a motherfucker chopping your hand off not to do some shit, you chop a few of these motherfuckers' dicks off, then that might make that choice a lot easier for them, Brody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, they used to do that shit back in the old days. If you raped somebody, you got castrated. So
not anymore. Now, if your child wants to be a girl at 3 years old, all you gotta do is go cut his dick off, and it's okay. We should allow that. Like that's okay. What kind of fucking sicko parent does that shit?
Look, if you're
not anymore,
just as bad.
If once you're 18, you're grown. You do what the fuck you want to.
Exactly.
But no fucking, even at 8. Look, I don't think half the same way I do now as I did when I was 18. No, half the shit I thought and believed when I was 18, I wouldn't even fucking fathom now. You know what I mean? You do not know. I mean, you can be fucking 25. I'm 51 now, and like even at 25 or 30. I don't believe some of the same things that I believed then.
Dude, because the male human brain doesn't even fully develop until you're 25 years old. How the hell are you gonna let somebody whose brain doesn't even develop make a fucking choice like that?
And
Yeah,
here's the
but you
thing,
can, but that's the thing though. You can take and put a fucking gun in their hand and send them off to war though. That's
sure.
not right either.
Well, none of it is.
18 years old.
I agree.
But there's semantics about it all, and that's what pisses you off, right?
Right.
Like I'm old enough to shoot a gun and go to war, but I'm not old enough to have a beer.
That's stupid to me. I always thought that
Right?
was
That's
fucking
idiotic.
ignorant too.
It makes
Yeah,
no
I thought
sense.
that too.
So I I don't. I mean, yeah, I think that when you used to, you would have to. I don't know if they do it anymore because I know my kids. I don't think my kids have done it, but we used to have to register for the fucking. We have to
Draft.
register when you
Yes.
turn 18. You had to register for the fucking draft or whatever.
Right.
But
Do they
they
have to
don't.
do that anymore?
I don't think so, man.
I don't think they do either.
I
I
don't
don't
think they
think so
do.
either.
But
You know, here's the thing. Going back to what Brody was saying, and what you were saying about a male's mind don't fully mature till he's 25. One of the reasons they probably like to get draft you at 18 is because you're easier to follow rules. You're
Oh
easier
yeah.
to. It's easier for them to keep you under control, program you to do a job, and you go out there and do it. Where once you get old enough where that mind starts thinking for itself and you question every fucking thing, then
you
you
say,
might.
"Fuck you! I ain't going there."
Why do you
Well,
think there's so much conversion going on at the universities around
Yeah.
America?
right,
It's just easier
right.
to
It's
convert
crazy.
people who can't think for themselves yet.
But I've seen on Facebook Buster where you were talking about exposing these guys, and then you had other people talking about it would be bad for the business for you to do it.
Dude,
I say if you know who they are, fucking put their asses on blast. You know that
actually,
way
I'm actually
people
still.
know who they are, and if it hurts that promoter deserves to be hurt because he shouldn't be booking that motherfucker in the first place.
And I'm actually still working on that, Brody. The one thing that I research on shit like that, man, the research is out of the fucking world, man. Because I mean, there was other people. I had people comment say, "Just be sure you have the facts," and I agree with that. I don't
100%.
want to go out here and expose
Yeah,
somebody. And I do that thing still could very well happen. I'm still working on like research and facts and getting these police reports and different things. That thing hadn't gone out of it ain't like I just forgot about that. It's just that's something that when I do it, I want to know I fucking know what I'm talking about, and I want to be right about what I'm fucking talking about, because that's a serious accusation to throw out on anybody. You know, we all know somebody could say something like that, and it could not be true, and it could be proven to not be true, but public opinion, the minute it's said, so many people are going to immediately believe it's a fact.
and it doesn't matter what you say after that.
That's right.
People love to believe the worst anyway.
You've already branded them, and but there's that thing too. So I used to work for the county jails. I worked for DeSoto County and I worked for Tate County there for a while. And when you work for those companies, when you work for the jail, you have access to all the information,
Right.
right? So you can read and you can see what they're being charged for and what they actually did. And I'm gonna tell you something: 99% of the time, they've got it right. 99% of the time. There's always that 1% that's innocent. But most of the time, they're not in that jail if they haven't done what they're there for.
Yeah, I
They're
believe
going to
that
make
100%.
they're going to make sure that they're there for the reason that they're there for.
Right.
Because I know someone that's messing with a guy that's in jail right now, that's in there for statutory rape, that's claiming that he never did do anything, but I read the fucking reports and I saw all of it and I know exactly what he fucking did. And he fucked a 14-year-old and he's in prison for it, and that's where he needs to fucking be.
Yeah.
But he lies and says, "Well, I didn't know she was 14." That's what he told us when he was there. But then he tells everybody else, "Well, I thought she was 16." And that's just a lying piece of shit motherfucker. Trying to cover his tracks. But it is what it is.
And here's the thing: how old was this motherfucker?
Oh, he was in his 30s. I mean, he's in his late 30s.
That's
almost.
right.
I think he's almost 40 now.
If you motherfucking that old, you shouldn't even be. I mean, dating your own age group to a certain extent. You shouldn't be. If you're 30 fucking years old, you shouldn't be looking for 16, 17, 18-year-olds. You'd figure you'd want somebody at least.
Even if you're in your fucking 20s, late 20s, you should be doing that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%, man. Ain't no doubt about that. And it's so. Here's what I wonder. I don't like that. There's always been a lot of crazy drugs, alcohol, sex, violence behind the scenes of pro wrestling. But I don't remember. Or maybe I just never was around it. Maybe it's because social media wasn't around, but it just seems like there's so much more of that going on now than ever before.
I just think they're easier to catch now.
Dude, good and damn well that shit was going on back in the fucking 70s and 80s, because one of the biggest fucking stars around here got arrested for that shit.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying I feel like it's like Storm said, normalizing. I feel like it's more rampant now because there's certain groups of people out there trying to normalize certain shit.
Well, and there's easier access now. Like now, you don't have to wait till they come to a show, right? You can reach out through social media. There's a lot more access, and a lot of these parents will let their young kids get on this shit where they don't need to be.
Right. I don't agree with that, man. We monitor my fucking kids' shit. They don't even know it, man. Me and my old lady monitor that shit left and right, man. And you got to stay on them because, I mean, kids are just kids. They're out there. They're looking. I mean, they're just out there really.
Exactly. They're kids. They don't know no fucking better.
No.
That's why you're an adult. You're supposed to fucking know better.
Right. All right, guys, let's pull it back. Let's get back on fucking wrestling. Storm, let's talk a little bit about Crossroads. Now, I see y'all have a show coming up. It's been a little while since Crossroads had a show. I seen a flyer the other day. I don't remember the date on it, but talk to us about Crossroads some, man.
March 22nd in Oxford, man. It's going to be, we're going back to Oxford. Dude, it's going to be a fun night. Just trying to get a foothold in that area. And they approached us about coming down there. We've got another show planned. I'll have that date soon. But we're just trying to grow it slowly and surely. My thing with Crossroads, though, is I really want to grow it where we are a breeding ground of young guys.
Right.
I'm not trying to make it a big sensational thing. I want Crossroads to be where a lot of my students, a lot of my friends can get training time, and we can teach these next generation of guys how to work and how to, like my guys, when we talked at the very beginning of this show, you won't see my guys go into a dressing room and be egomaniacs. You're not going to see that. Because I've told every one of them, you ever do that, your ass is out. I will make sure you're blacklisted from any and everywhere I can blacklist your ass from.
And that's an issue, too, because you didn't used to be like that, man. You didn't go in a dressing room. When you first broke into the business, you didn't go in the fucking dressing room acting like anything. Like Brody said, you went in there, shut the fuck up, sat down, got dressed, and listened, absorbed what was going on, man. I don't remember guys coming in their very first few matches with an ego. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, the ego's always in there. You ain't gonna be a pro wrestler without having some ego. But
you gotta have an ego.
But it wasn't like they walked in the dressing room like they were better than the business.
And think they own the world.
I felt privileged.
I got something to say about that. All right, so a couple of weeks ago, where was we at in Missouri? Where we were back in that back back hole back there. Remember?
That was cold that night. We went up there. It was hot when we left. And cold when we got there.
That was Gibson, wasn't it? No, Columbus.
No,
Columbus.
no, it's not Columbus. We kept calling it Columbus. Bro, I don't know. Shit.
Was it Charleston, Missouri?
No, it was.
It wasn't Columbus because we got in trouble for calling it Columbus.
Yeah, but whatever it was at that show there, they had one of the top guy. You know, one of these guys that came in from
OVW.
Oh, huh?
OVW, right?
Wherever he came in from. He didn't come around and shake nobody's fucking hand. I mean, he might have shook all the guys up there, but he didn't come back there to where we were and shook our hands. He didn't do all that stuff. He didn't acknowledge, he didn't acknowledge certain people, and stuff like that. Where I was trained and where I come from, when I come into man, you can be all the way wherever, and I'm going to come to you and shake your hand and say, introduce myself, especially if I don't know you. Right. I'm going to come introduce myself, and if I do know you, I'm going to come shake your hand, give you a hug, and say, hey, man, it's good to see you. And this guy, because he thinks because he's over here wherever he's at, he doesn't have to do that shit. And I guarantee you that he wasn't trained to do that.
Exactly. We met some guys from Texas at the AWA show. They all did that. They were all cool. How are you?
Yep.
They all stood up and shook our hands when we walked in the door.
Yeah, that's how you show respect. And look, I'm not gonna lie. When I first broke in the business, I hated that, and it wasn't that I hated the fact that it's one thing when you work with a guy every now and then, or work with guys every once in a while, go in and shake everybody's hand. But when you guys working every single night, and you're working either with these guys or around them every single night, when I broke in the business, man, I thought, man, I hate to have to go around and shake everybody. We're all buddies. Even if we ain't buddies, we're all on what's up, dudes, when you walk in the dressing room. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? But I learned over time, you got to shake them fucking hands, man. That's part of the business. That's part of the way you show respect in this business. And it's part of the way you earn respect.
That's the rules, man. There's the rules. It's the rules of wrestling. It's the, there's certain things that you gotta follow, and that's one of them. One of the things is come in, shut your fucking mouth, sit down, and listen. Don't touch. I'll give you an example, Buster, of me and Cody sitting in a fucking dressing room one night. This was for OWO in motherfucking Amory, Mississippi, at one of those. We were sitting there, and this fucking greenhorn comes up to us, right? I'm sitting in a chair like I'm sitting in this one. My brother's sitting here next to me. He walks up to me and he says, "You're the smaller of the two, so I'll power slam you." And he goes to calling all this shit, telling me what all he's going to do. And I'm just looking at him, and I'm smiling, and I'm shaking my head. And I look over at my brother, and he's smiling, and he's shaking his head. And I guess this is another reason why I got my asshole fucking attitude, reputation, because I just shook my head like this. I never said a fucking word. He walked on. We went out there to the fucking ring, and when we got to the fucking ring, you know exactly what I fucking did.
And here's the thing. That's something
I whooped his ass. My brother whooped his ass. We threw him out of the fucking ring and told him don't get back in the motherfucker.
And that's something that's missing in today's wrestling too. I don't feel like guys get attitude checked enough in the ring. That was a thing back in the day. You got to, and I'm just like you, man. When somebody comes up and does that, especially a new guy, man, I do the same thing. I'm like, all right. And in my head, I'm thinking, ain't none of this shit gonna happen once that fucking bell rings. That's all I can think. I'm like, yeah, man, that sounds good to me. I'll see you out in the ring. And then once that fucking bell rings, that whole shit changed, and then you got a guy looking at you with the deer in the headlights look, and that's what I mean by when I say that aura of anything can happen. I don't like pussy pro wrestlers. I think, look, we ain't UFC fighters, but you ought to be able to even if you can't fight, you ought to not shy away from a fight if it comes up. You know what I mean? Look, take an ass whooping. I don't mind getting my goddamn ass whooped. If you want my ass whooping, I'm cool with that. But we're going to fight if that's what it comes to. You know, it's just, I don't feel guys get attitude checked enough.
I know it. And see, and Storm was booking Redeem Wrestling. And he called me and says, "Hey man, I want you to come in because I need you to help me with this young talent that's here. I could use you to help, train these guide these guys, right?" And so you tell them the story. You tell it better than me.
A lot of these, you have a lot of green guys, man. Guys who don't understand the business, how to carry yourself as a wrestler. They don't understand the business. They just know what they see on TV and think it's all fun and games. And I'm just happy-go-lucky in that there's an art to it, like we've talked about. There's a psychology to it. And to be a true artist and a professional, you've got to understand that psychology and what being a wrestler.
Right.
Well, and I preach, and they know me so well by this point it doesn't sink in. So I'm like, you know what? I'm about to call Brody. So I told Ron Horn, who owned Redeemed, I said, I'm bringing Brody in. He said, okay. So I said, all right. I told him why I was doing it. So I told everybody in, I said, next show, Brody Hawk's coming in. I got to bring me some good talent in here. Y'all going to love Brody. It's going to be awesome. I said, but don't fuck up. So everybody's on pins and needles. I mean, when Brody comes walking in there with his little mean mug that he has, right? He's dressed in Brody face. Comes walking through the door with his chair and his bag. And he sits down. He's got his own, because nobody else is bringing a chair, right? Like, I'm the only one that brings a chair. But I got that from Brody all those years ago.
Dude, hey, you go in enough fucking dressing rooms and there ain't nowhere to fucking sit. You start bringing your own chair.
You do. But these green guys, their eyes like, what the fuck just walked in here? This is supposed to be a missionary run, come to Jesus wrestling show, and this hard-nosed motherfucker just walked in the door. And dude, very first night, too. Very first night, he had to beat the brakes off a kid. But it set a tone, and by God, they learned real quick. It changed the attitude.
And that's what it's really all about, man. That right there. You don't want the kid that you get on a little heavy and he tucks his tail and runs. You want that kid that takes that ass whooping and is back the next fucking show. And he's listening now. He's better. That's hard to find. A lot, dude. Look, I've had motherfuckers leave the ring on me during matches, go to the fucking dressing room, not even grab their bags, go straight on out to their motherfucking car, and be blocked in. Be blocked in and set their fucking car till the fucking show's over so they can leave. But that pins and needles, that's good for wrestling, man. Guys need to.
They need to toughen the fuck up is what they need to do.
Right, man. They need to understand that this ain't just pretend and it ain't just fun and games.
And the thing about me, Buster, is I would rather just pull you to the side and say, hey, man, you need to do this and do this and do this. And you'll be like, I mean, you'll be okay. This right here will improve you to the point to where, you won't have any problems. You're doing this, correct this, and you'll be all right. Correct this, and you'll be okay. But don't go out there and not sell my motherfucking chair shot.
God,
if I get you with a fucking chair, you better fucking sell it.
Yeah, that's what I don't believe either. Don't I?
I'm gonna hit you with a chair. I ended up beating that boy's ass with that chair, and as this fucker's sitting at the fucking announce table, right? Yeah. And as I'm walking by him, I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. And he's like, no, man, it's cool. I'm like, dude, my first night here, I gotta do this shit. Why?
Look, who the fuck don't sell a chair shot? The only way I'm not selling a chair shot if you just throwed it super fucking weak. Who don't sell a fucking chair shot? And I'll be honest with you, I'm like you. Don't sell my chair shot. I'll promise you, I'll fucking wrap that chair around your motherfucking. That motherfucker will be bent like this with your head inside it.
Too many guys with a Superman complex that they got they got a huge misinterpretation of what professional wrestling is. And their ego's way out of control. So you got to check it. Brody checked his ego to about the size of that kid who's only 4 foot tall anyway.
So
I
how
was like,
was
damn,
it?
dude, I
We
thought
were
you
on the
liked midgets.
outside
What
of the
the hell?
ring, Buster. Buster, we were on the outside of the ring, and this motherfucker's gonna try to bull rush me. After I done hit him 3 or 4 times with a fucking chair, he gonna get up and bull rush me. So guess what I had to do, Buster?
Hey,
I
that's
had
what you do.
to fuck him up.
Hey, these motherfuckers, they got to learn somehow, man. If they too stupid to know, then they got to learn somehow is the way I look at it. You know, it just, I don't know, guys. It's a
And
different
another,
world out there now.
and this is another thing where I don't get no credit for the shit, is that when something like that happens, I end up taking that kid under my wing and try to help them. But nobody says anything about that. I'm just a fucking dickhead asshole.
So
Yeah.
at Redeemed a few weeks later, right? He's doing the same thing. He got a bunch of greenhorns out there, and they were all fucking up. And one kid, it was only his like second or third match, third or fourth match. He had no idea what was going on. He was in there with a bunch of other with a bunch of other green guys who had been in it for years, but were trained like shit. Right? They weren't good. And then Brody was. They get to the back, and Brody's just telling them, "Look." And these motherfuckers gonna try to walk away as he's talking to them. Well, that just made him mad. So then he really starts just being ugly to them. I said, they said being ugly. I said, he's telling you what the fuck was true. Y'all walking away from him. You know, there ain't but one of those guys that still works and works with us all the time. Because he didn't know. He was the one that only had 2 or 3 matches. So, but he still sticks around and he listens. And he gets better.
Oh, yeah, that
One.
motherfucker would have turned off and started walking away. He'd have walked his ass right out the back door of the building and never come back, man. Never come back, dude.
You remember earlier when we was talking about heat, getting heat and stuff? I tell people that they need to watch Memphis Heat, because at the beginning of Memphis Heat, Bill Dundee tells you what heat is, right? And so I've been in the dressing room a lot with Bill Dundee.
Right.
You know, I was in the dressing room with him every fucking weekend for the longest time. Love Bill. You know, and there was a few guys, this is what pissed me off about it, was that they were like, he's old and he don't know what the fuck he's talking about anymore. Wrestling's not like that anymore. I'm like, dude, you got to be fucking kidding me. You're telling me that you're not going to listen to this fucking legend over here that's telling you everything you're doing wrong, but yet you're telling me that he doesn't know what he's talking about, but yet he's been all over the world,
drawn money every fucking where he's ever been for 40 fucking years.
And you gonna tell me that he don't know what the fuck he's doing? I said, you've got to be kidding me, dude. Wrestling, that's what I was talking about earlier. Wrestling is not it's never gonna fucking change. It's always good versus evil. And the only thing Bill was telling them is that if you get into a fight in a bar, are you going to be hopping when you swing and hit somebody? Are you going to be hopping and stomping your foot?
There you go, right?
You know, are you going to be hopping and stomping your foot when you're punching this guy? Are you going to? He's like, make it real. You got to make it real, because if you don't make it real, they're not going to fucking believe it. And then guess what? They're going to start playing on their phone during your match.
Right.
You just made wrestling fake.
Yeah, I agree with that. I ain't been active since cell phones really came out. Back when I was still wrestling, you still had them big bag phones, but I can imagine now, man, if I was to look out in the fucking audience and everybody was on their fucking phone, I know damn well I ain't doing my fucking job. You know, exactly. It's just as simple as that. I ain't doing my fucking job at all.
And he knows that if I see somebody on their cell phone during our match, I'm on that motherfucker. I'm on that motherfucker.
That's where he's going, buddy.
You getting off that fucking cell phone, because I'm getting on your ass.
And that's what it needs to be, man. Like I said, it's heat, and just respect the fucking business. That's one thing that is, even when I was trained, the training made you respect the fucking business. You know, they didn't smarten us up at all. They didn't smarten us up at all. But when you trained, you respected, they taught you respect the fucking business. Jeff would run us through drills over and over. We do shoulder tackle drills and say there's 10 guys in the class. So everybody line up on a rope. Or actually, when there's that many outside the ring and one would be in the turnbuckle, hit that rope, boom, you take a bump, you spin around, get up, he'd hit the next rope, boom, same thing. Each guy, you'd get 4 bumps off of each guy. And by the time you was through, man, if you made it through all 10 motherfuckers, that's 40 bumps in a matter of, what, 2.5 or 3 minutes, if everything is moving like it should.
Exactly.
And that taught you to respect the business. It taught you to respect the wrestling ring. It taught you respect for the business. And I see that missing a lot is I don't think guys, I don't think guys look at pro wrestling now the same way guys did when I was in it and before that. I just don't think they view it the same way. Here's the thing. We still had to, even when I broke in the early 90s, there was still, like, kayfabe was dead because of Vince McMahon, but if you were out on the street, you didn't say wrestling was fake. And if somebody wanted to get in your face about that, you had to back the fuck up that wrestling was fucking real. Like, try me, motherfucker. You had to prove to these motherfuckers that, hey, you can think what you want about it, but just try your luck and see how it goes. You know?
Hey,
and
Buster, that just happened to us, 2 years ago, Storm?
Yeah.
At the Juneteenth festival?
Juneteenth.
Hey, guess who was the one that went and straightened them motherfuckers out? This guy. I was walking back the wrestling show. We were at the Juneteenth festival. Bluff City was, right? And so the wrestling had just ended, and this DJ comes over the radio and he says, "Now that the fake wrestling is over, y'all come on over here, such and such."
Oh yeah.
And dude,
and we had a huge crowd around us. Now we had a huge crowd watching.
Dude, I walked straight over to where he was, snatched that microphone out of his hand. He was trying to keep me from doing it, right?
Right.
And I snatched it out, and he said something. I said, "Man, I'm fixing to knock your ass on the fucking ground. Don't you ever fucking say wrestling's fake. I will beat your ass right here."
I mean, that's so fucking disrespectful to wrestling and wrestlers, man.
Yeah.
Look, Storm, tell him what Bullwhip was doing.
So while he's doing that, I'd already started getting half undressed. And Bullwhip, all of a sudden I hear, "Storm!" Like, what? He's like, "Brody's about to whoop somebody's ass." I'm like, motherfuck.
And look, all the Memphis City cops were standing out there, right?
There's about 15 of them.
Yeah. And so they're just standing out there looking, and they're like, this dude's like thinking that the cops are going to come help him and shit. And he's like, and they're like, "No, you should have left him the fuck alone."
Yeah.
So
you got your ass in this trouble. You get your ass out of it.
Yeah. This guy told me, he says something about, I told him, I said, "I'm fixing to knock your ass on the concrete." And he says, "I won't be the only one." I said, "Yeah, you will. Because when I knock you on the concrete, I'm going to start stomping your fucking face into it." And
here's the thing: what none of the crowd out there was, none of them was behind that sumbitch. None of them. Well, none of them backing his ass up. They're like, "Oh, he done picked up the wrong one today."
Yep.
Well, here's the thing: you're fucking disrespecting the wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Because look, everybody's in on the same gag pretty much. But these fans, they follow these wrestling shows and these wrestlers, and they spend their fucking money because they want to believe. And they definitely don't want to be disrespected. And that's not only disrespectful to us as wrestlers, it's disrespectful to the fans too. When somebody, I can't believe a motherfucker was an idiot enough to do that, honestly.
Well, here's the thing about wrestling. Wrestling is not fake.
No.
Wrestling is predetermined.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, there is a big fucking difference. Okay, so don't ever fucking tell me that wrestling is fake, because I'm gonna slap the fucking taste out of your fucking mouth, because it's not. My body,
Right.
your body, his body tells me every motherfucking day when I get up that wrestling is not fucking fake. Okay,
Right.
it's predetermined. I will give you that. I will tell you, yes, Vince McMahon has exposed it to where everybody knows that it is predetermined. Okay, well, there's a lot of shit that goes on in that match until we get to that predetermined spot.
Right.
Okay, my body. I mean, this man broke his fucking ribs in a match, and 4 weeks later was back wrestling.
Hey,
Okay,
fuck, man. I
and he
bruised my
tore.
ribs. Never broke one, but just having bruised ribs hurts so fucking
Okay,
bad. I can imagine a
and
broke rib.
he tore. What muscle was it you tore in your leg?
Tore my tendon around my knee and my calf.
All right, tore that motherfucker. His legs swelled up, purple, blue. He's in a fucking boot, and he still comes out to the fucking ring, and is still fucking getting involved when he wasn't supposed to, because I was wrestling the whole fucking match. I had it, but he got
Partners,
involved
buddy.
because he couldn't fucking stand it.
That's right. I'm a
And,
wrestler, by God.
and then he tears his fucking tricep, which is still torn, right?
Damn.
Yeah, still torn. Still torn.
Okay, so yeah,
Wrestle same show.
at the benefit show, he tore his fucking for Vicky.
Yeah.
All right, he tore his tricep. He's on the fucking ground, rolling around in fucking pain, but he still goes out and fucking does the match. Okay, he just tore the fucking tricep. You can see it. You can see the motherfucker's torn. But he goes out there and fucking does the match. Do not tell me wrestling is fake, motherfucker, because I will kick your ass.
I swear to God.
Try me. I don't give a fuck. If you're watching this fucking podcast and you think that you can whoop me, come whoop me, motherfucker.
You know, and here's the thing. A lot of times when people say that, I don't take it as a challenge personally, like they think they can whoop you or me or somebody. It's just the way they've been programmed almost to look at wrestling. And the easiest way I've found, you want to get a respect out of people in the wrestling business or fans like that or whoever, get them in the ring and let them take a few bumps and see then what they think about pro wrestling. Because that, in my experience, that changes everybody's fucking attitude. You hit that canvas a time or two and you realize that, hey,
Same for me.
This shit hurts, man. I mean, they think it don't hurt, but we just get used to it. You know,
yeah, I mean, we do. I mean, if you wrestle enough, you build up that it's not really a callus, but I mean, you build up that tolerance for it.
You condition your body to get used to it, you know.
Right. And so, but that's, no matter how much your body gets used to it, you still fucking hurt.
Yeah.
Some of the shit still hurts. I mean, I won't say who it is, but there was a certain promoter that let his ring sit out in the fucking rain and got the wood wet where it wasn't wet before. And now when you bumping that son of a bitch, it's like bumping on the fucking concrete. You know what I'm saying?
It's pretty stiff.
So you know how it is when you let them 2x12s get motherfucking waterlogged
and swell up. Yes,
they don't give like they once. They're fucking solid now. They're full of fucking water, so they're solid. So when you bump on that shit, it fucking hurts.
Guys, we've been going a little over 2 hours. I guess we're gonna wrap this motherfucker up, man. I always wait till after the podcast to eat supper.
Because you had so much fun talking to the Savage Brotherhood.
Dude, I'm glad I finally got y'all on here. Y'all been on early on when me and Mark was doing the show, and you've been on little pieces. It's the first time I actually got y'all on and was able to focus on you guys and talk to you guys, man. I appreciate you guys coming on so much. And I really do, man. I appreciate both of you guys, and fuck everybody. Brody, go on, tell them, say fuck y'all.
I give zero fucks about you motherfuckers.
That'll be the next time you're on. That'll be the headline. Zero fucks given, man. Guys, y'all have a fucking blast in Corinth. I hope y'all draw a hell of a fucking crowd. It opens up Corinth for you guys from here on out. Man,
we appreciate
Corinth's
it, buddy.
always
Appreciate
been a hell of a wrestling town. And I don't see no reason why it shouldn't still be a hell of a wrestling town.
Well, that's Bullwhip. That's Bullwhip Ballard's hometown, and that's one of the reasons why we're there. And you know, I helped train Bullwhip, and he is a hell of a talent. I'm very proud of him. I think of him as a one of my kids. I really can't tell you how proud I am. You know, when he started out, he was a little rough. I had to put my foot in his ass, but
whatever you did, it did good, Brody. I'll be honest with you. Whatever you had to do to him worked, man.
I'm really, I seriously, I cannot tell you how proud I am of that kid. I really am. I don't say it a lot, you know, but I really am. I think he's doing great. He's got some great opportunities coming along. He's got some guys out here trying to imitate him and everything. Right. So he's doing something right. Yep. So that's his hometown. That's where we're going to go in and do some things this weekend and have a good time. And if you live in the Corinth area, and if you want to travel, come on down. I'm going to tell you, you're going to enjoy the show because we're going to give you one hell of a show.
You got that right.
All right, guys. Y'all, both of y'all, I know y'all in separate places. Storm, you got to get up in the morning and work your ass off. Brody, I'm assuming you got to work too.
Yep.
Not tomorrow. I'm coming home.
I got to be there at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, my girl has been waiting on me for a week, so there's going to be a whole lot of slamming tomorrow night.
Brody, how many strokes you think
that's all the time, Buster. That's all the time. Every time you go over to his house, that's all the fuck you hear. It's about all Big Daddy.
I'm practicing my wrestling moves. What are you
okay, about? It's been a week, man. Let's put some money on it, Brody. How many strokes you think Storm gonna get in before he pops, man?
I don't know. I ain't in that. But
they call me Big Daddy for a reason, Buster. Don't let the name fool you.
hey, bro, we doing After Dark Saturday night?
Absolutely.
All right, Buster, tune in, brother.
I will. Guys, go ahead, Brody.
We're going to be doing After Dark Saturday night. Starts at 9 o'clock. It'll be on Facebook. I'm not going to give out your government name. You can.
Yeah, but it'll be on Big Daddy Storm's page, so go look at it there.
There you go.
Guys, once again, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for coming on, and y'all have a great night.
All right, buddy. You too. Thanks for having us.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all, you seen it right there, the Savage Brotherhood, one of the most dominant teams around our area. If you're in Corinth this coming Friday, go check these guys out. It's at the Fitness Factory. Go check them out. It'll be worth your $10 admission, man. Going to have a hell of a show. Going to be the UWA there. You're going to see guys from Bluff City, Crossroads Wrestling, American Hostile Championship Wrestling. You're going to see all these companies that have got talent going to represent them there. Go check it out. All right, guys, I'm back tomorrow night with T-Pain and the $1 Million Baby. Premier Pro Wrestling is back in Spring Hill at the Spring Hill School in Trenton. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to go over these matches tomorrow night. Thank everybody who tuned in for this podcast tonight and everybody who interacted. I want to promote my upcoming podcast one more time, and I'll let you guys out of here.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency, a message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better. See, I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me.
I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
All right, guys, once again, thank you for tuning in tonight. Awesome show. If you didn't get to watch it all, go catch it on the replay. I will be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m., and it's all about Premier Pro Wrestling. I'll see you guys then.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.